fourth most controversial moment takes us to the New Jersey Senate and would change the course of wrestling history forever. For the first time, a promoter and owner admitted publicly that wrestling was fixed. Vince McMahon did it allegedly to avoid paying a tax. Number 4, Vince tells the world that's entertainment.
By then, everybody knows. Okay, now you're just trying to lie to the fans.
I don't consider that as controversial as it, because it should have been said that a long time ago.
Well, if you're going to save a little bit of money, I guess the man needs it. Of course, it's ridiculous.
You know, Vince wasn't telling anybody anything they already didn't know. I mean, it wasn't like the athletic commissions didn't know it was entertainment to begin with. And they knew they were stealing from the wrestling companies the way it was. There was no reason to pay that entertainment tax and try to say that we were a sport when we were sports entertainment. Now, if we were 100% sport and nobody knew the outcome of the fights or the wrestling matches and everything else, it'd be a different story.
In retrospect, what is he? What did he really? He's just saying what everybody already knew. And to me, the whole. I always had a problem with fixed and fake. I always use the word fixed because it's no different than wrestling, no different than boxing and MMA. Don't be fooled. MMA is fixed and it's a work.
You know what? In my opinion, that's got a lot of positive influence on the business because it let it go on to the next level as far as the way Vince was seeing it. And obviously it was a successful vision that he had. But coming from where I come from, that's strong.
Well, it's still irritating. Vince McMahon, make up your mind, would ya?
Back in the day when people used to say, well, wrestling's fake, out you go.
You never use the F word in that, and that's good? Yeah, because the F word is not my vocabulary.
People used to ask me, is wrestling fixed? And I used to tell them I didn't know it was broken.
As the business was, we were taught to protect the integrity of the business. And when he did that, a lot of guys got pissed off him at first, but then everybody got over it real quick.
It was troubling, but a lot of other things troubled me much more than that. It was a business decision and I think the national attention didn't really focus on that so much. Was there discussion in the industry and wishing that he hadn't blatantly come out and said that? But everybody understand why he did. And in a way, for me personally, I'm surprised it's even on the list.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I don't think that's. I don't even know how that made the list, to be honest. That's like a top 15, top 20, maybe top 5 or 10. No way.
To me, that wasn't that big of a deal. Everybody already knew. He was just letting everybody know for a fact because it came from Vince McMahon.
It kind of was evolving into that, anyways. All the stuff has been on TV and everything, so he just came out and just said what everybody believed anyways.
It saved him tax dollars, and of course it saved us from having to have these athletic commission doctors come in and give us tests all the time. And I remember once in New Jersey, just before they abolished that commission, they sent us all in, made us be stress tested on a treadmill. And a stress test on a treadmill for people who've had one, it's enough to kill you right there. And if you've never had one, when you are finished with it, you wish you were dead. Oh, yeah. They hooked us up to all heart monitors and all kind of shit. And then finally they got rid of that stuff.
To avoid paying tax. Now, what people don't get is that Vince McMahon isn't a big, well, they probably do, he's not a big wrestling fan. Vince McMahon is running a business. And to run his business, and if he sees things are running, too much. When I'm at Madison Square Garden, Vince McMahon said, "When I'm at the Garden, this is costing me too damn much having to pay the athletic commission." So if he's going to get off from, admitting that wrestling now is entertainment and not a true sport, to save his company dozens and dozens and dozens of paying out to the athletic commissions, of course, it's a great business move. It pisses the fans off, but it's a great business move.
Well, Vince it's his organization. He can say whatever he wants to say. And it went from professional wrestling to the entertainment business. So it was okay for him to say it. He's the one paying everybody. And it got that big because it's entertainment.
The fans aren't stupid. They go to see entertainment. They get involved with certain individuals. But you don't have to slap them over the face and say, hey, what you believe in is all bullshit. You know, give the state their due. Give Caesar what's Caesar's, right?
It's so sad that Vince went in front of the Senate and told them it wasn't real because, I mean, it's entertainment. And if they didn't know it was entertainment, they could have done it privately and not done it like to where everybody knows. And I mean, people already knew. People know that TV shows aren't real. So why is it that he had to go in front and do that? Just kind of took that belief away. It makes me sad that it even had to happen that way.
That goes both ways. You can say it was a bad thing because we want to be, considered a sport and athletes. But if you think about it, business-wise, it was a very smart move because we could avoid the athletic commission. Believe me, the athletic commission can be a real pain in the butt sometimes in a lot of states. I mean, Vegas, it's almost impossible to run shows out in Nevada because the athletic commission is so tight. So business-wise, very smart thing for him to do. To a lot of old-timers, maybe not so much, and they might have taken away their heart, from the business. But, money's money and business is business. He had to do what's good for the business, for his business.
Well, here's the thing. You're asking somebody who was in the wrestling business. I happen to be an excellent wrestler and learn wrestling, learn the physical side of it. But I came from a theatrical side of it. And I also doing other shows and other activities at the same time I did wrestling. So, on one hand there was this wrestling, which is supposed to be sports. It's listed on sports on your television, a pay-per-view sports events. And then I was doing other shows where I was a member of SAG or AFTRA, and that's entertainment and that's soap opera. So, I know it was a way for him to cover all angles. But as far as being an athlete or an actor, or I don't think that we had the credentials to back it up. So that's still something that I think is an issue for me.
We worked our whole career trying to protect this business, make people think it's real, and he comes along and says it's entertainment. But by the same token, it's always been entertainment. When Jerry Lawler wrestled Andy Kaufman, it was entertainment. This was a long time before Vince ever said that. And then a promoter might book a match, and a guy goes out and misses a drop kick by 5 feet. The guy takes a bump. Well, haven't you already told the people it's bullshit right there? Because the promoter booked the match. The wrestlers didn't book it. It
now puts more pressure on the guys to perform better, to where you get that one in the front row when you hit somebody and they go, that was real.
It was going to expose a couple years later when the internet hit the scene anyway, right? Because everybody else, the internet people all know that it's, and they're all smarter than everybody anyway. So,
I heard a guy that's really a name, become a name in the wrestling business in the last 15, 20 years. Big guy. He used that F word in an interview that I saw him do in reaction to a Flair thing, and he used that word, and I was watching him, and I just thought to myself, you should have never been broke into the wrestling business, because if you would have, and it would have been done right, that word would have never came out of your mouth in that context. So Kevin Nash, you don't belong in the wrestling business. Should have never been broke in. You're a big man. You think you're freaking all that, but you ain't. And you should have. Bottom line, you should have never been allowed to break in the wrestling business, just because of that one thing. You used that word, and because I'm not fake. I'm not fake. My father wasn't fake, and I know a lot of guys out there that those are fighting words, and I don't care what Vince did to expose it all. Those are still fighting words to me.